Well, I'll show you mine if you show me yours.
OK, 1 minute.
OK, I've got a 1 minute. 20?
20. I'm surprised you did it in a 120-something.
Don't be ridiculous.
What were you?
1 minute 27. I thank you, which puts it... Oh,
that is
right
very fast.
Look at that.
Let me give you a hand. There we go. 127. Well, that's fantastic. Sadly, though, 1 minute 25, everybody!
Yes! Yeah, but look at it. That's going to be wing.
Loser.
It's a ridiculous looking car. Look, it's a childish car, and look what it's brought out in you. It's not a man's sports car. I mean, look, now you're just being childish. I'm not going to get cross.
You lost.
No, you're not annoying me. I don't care. I don't care. It was... Can I do one now?
Yeah,
I've got two. Right, Porsche have a race championship going on this year in this country called the Porsche Carrera Cup Great Britain. The reason this is of interest to us is that they are producing a road-going version of the car that competes in that. It's the 911 GT3. They've done GT3s before. This is the new one. I can have a look at it, I think. It's a stunning-looking thing, and it's not just the looks. It's 381 brake horsepower, 0 to 60 in 4.5 seconds. It will cost you 72 grand, but it's real racetrack-type technology.
I get confused with 911s. I never know where they all go. Is that a turbo?
No, that's not. That is normally aspirated.
So, wait a minute. The GT2's a turbo?
Yes.
And the turbo's a turbo, obviously.
Yes.
Why is a GT2 not a turbo, if it is a turbo?
But it is a turbo. The GT2.
Yes, why is it called a GT2 and not a turbo?
Because the turbo's called a turbo. You couldn't have...
You see? Does anybody here understand the 911 range? No? They're bored, aren't they?
Yes.
They've been making the same car for 13 years, and all they think to do is, well, call that one a GT3 and that one a GT2, and I'll have a turbo, a GT2, I'll have a GT1, a 959, put the engine in the back. God, it must be fun going into a Porsche dealership. Have a 911. It'd be like ordering breakfast in America. I just want eggs! Stop messing around and give me a Porsche!
Get this, if you're feeling even more wealthy, for £330,000, another Porsche from racing. Look at that, the Carrera GT. We've been waiting for this since 2000. We first saw it at Paris Motor Show.
That is...
Oh, it's glorious.
Absolutely stunning.
Glorious.
Look at this, look at this, look at this, look at this.
Oh! V10, 5.7 litres, 612 brake horsepower.
How much is it?
It's £330,000, Jeremy. What? What?
No, you're supposed to go...
Now, it's a terrible shame Jeremy didn't like the 350Z. I wondered if he might be interested in the 350Z watch. It's a very large watch with a very small face. What do you think of that?
It'll probably go tick-tock, tick-tock, and be very heavy. You'll have to be like this all day long with it. But this week, I think I've come across an ad which just trumps the lot. Are you ready to see it? It's for the new Lexus RX 300. Here it is. There's the car. And the advert for it is... It changes everything.
That is a big claim, isn't it?
I don't want to go home tonight and find my front doors moved and that all my children are badgers and that I'm married to Frank Bruno. Yeah. I don't want it to change everything.
And this will be a gardening programme and we shouldn't be talking about that anyway.
No, well, exactly. And do you know, the thing is that, you know those Advertising Standards Authority?
Yes.
They always say you've got to be, what are they, truthful?
Hang on, it's decent, honest, legal, truthful.
So that advert must be true.
That would be great. You could buy the Lexus and then you'd wake up the next day and it would have changed into a Jaguar. With a bit of luck.
Right, I've got sad news, OK? This is sad news.
You don't know what it is yet. That's a blind date noise, isn't it?
It was a horrible noise. I thought they were deflating the entire audience.
What's the sad news?
The sad news is this. Right, diesel engines. There were only 3 manufacturers who managed to hold on to sense and not put diesel engines in their car. They were Honda, well, they weakened and did it. Saab weakened and did it. The last one has announced officially they've weakened, they've gone, and it's Jaguar. Oh no! I know, it's terrible. Error. They're putting a... You're all right, Jeremy. Quite nasty.
That is a horrific piece of news.
Well, they're doing a V6 one in the S-Type, and then there's a little 4-cylinder diesel going into the X-Type, which, of course, has nothing to do with Ford.
Oh, no, of course, Jaguar, yeah, no, it won't be a Ford engine. I want to make that absolutely plain. It's a Jaguar engine in every way.
Yeah. But if you pick away at Jaguar, it might say Ord underneath. Yeah. I don't know whether to put a sticker on it. But I just have worries about this. Jaguar's stealthy, sleek. Is it going to work? Have a look at this. We've got one in to have a look at, and we'll get an idea if it's going to work.
It's a stick.
Yeah. Oh dear.
That's simply not going to work, is it?
It loses something, doesn't it? Oh, beautiful. Just hearing it pass.
That is not going to work. I've got a report here from The Observer. Drivers are facing the biggest revolution in the history of British motoring. It's the Lexus again. It's changed everything.
Yes.
The thing is that Alistair Darling, who's the Transport Secretary, has said that he doesn't want people all taking their children to school at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, now, look, darling, that's kind of when school starts. You know, it's not like you take your child to school and say, well, I'm going to take it at 3 in the morning because it's nice and quiet.
Hasn't thought that through, has he?
There's going to be a lot of headmasters saying, Clarkson, you're early.
Well, I know, but his dad arrived in his Jag diesel, saved a couple of quid there, and he's dropped me off at 3 in the morning. No, the idea is, Darling is saying he's going to use satellites to track all 24 million drivers, and then if we use our cars at popular times, i.e. if we're going to work, he's going to charge us for it. And do you know the most depressing thing about this? It really is, and I am quoting now, OK? You can't build yourself out of the problem that we face, said Darling. It would be astronomically expensive, environmentally damaging, and I doubt if we could actually do it. Now, look. When you had the Air Ministry in 1940 watching the Luftwaffe come over, they didn't say, I doubt we can do anything about that, frankly. Well, just let them... Or you'd have Francis Drake playing bowls. I doubt we can do anything about the Spanish Armada. There's millions of them.
It's not the spirit, is it?
In fact, I've got a simple message which I want to deliver in a new Labour way to Darling. OK? Ready for your plan? I've never read such rubbish.
People will tell you this in the pub all the time. You take the top of your convertible car, you drive it in the rain, you get above a certain speed and you're fine, you don't get wet. It's rubbish. I'm soaked.
I'm not sure this is such a smart idea.
Why do you think they just think we're a pair of screaming...
Well, exactly.
Yes.
I'm gonna have to put the roof up.
Ah! Stop!
What happened?
I've had enough. It's got a squall in my face.
You know when you buy something vaguely technical, could be a microwave, could be a toaster, a car, you get instructions, yeah?
Yeah.
Hundreds of pages of it. When you get a baby, which is actually quite a complicated piece of kit, you don't get any instructions at all.
No.
None. Until now, because, of all people, Haynes. You must have heard of them. They do these sort of manuals. You know, there's a Peugeot 405, and there's the Ford Fiesta Service and Repair Manual. Been doing it for years. They've done another one, and it's on the baby, apparently.
They're doing one on the baby.
A Haynes manual for babies.
That's the most dangerous thing I can think of.
I have reservations.
The sort of people who buy those manuals are the sort of people who think they know better than the experts.
Yes.
This baby's got a leak out of the barrel. Brown stuff. I put the sump plug in. There we are. That's better. Stop that.
It's just not the place for amateurism,
This is fantastic news for British medicine. You know, we've had all that test tube baby stuff. Let's have the first baby born in an inspection pit.
Yes.
Well, advanced medical science.
No, it's the notion of, no, I'm not going to take you to the hospital. Come down to the shed. Bring the plunger, I'll do a Von Teusen delivery for them. There we go, that's got it out. No problem.
You know what's always worried me about Haynes manuals is this thing. You've got these little pictures. I'm sure you're all familiar with this, and you get the oily hand of Haynes in the picture. Do you want that in the caesarean ward? No. Exactly.
What gets me is when they made it, because the way they make this, it's quite simple. They get some bloke, Derek, whatever, beard, spanner, and they get the car in and he takes it apart and they take photographs. And they must go through like well, when you've done a Ford Fiesta, can you do the Peugeot 405, Derek? And then, well, we've got an unusual one for you next. Thunk baby. What are you going to start with that?
I'll have its liver out in a jiffy.
No worries.
I've got news of a fantastic new car alarm from Cobra. Now, this is very, very high-tech. Anywhere your car is in Europe, this system, linked to satellites, it knows exactly where your car is. And if your car is stolen, it will send you an email, a text message, or a fax.
A fax?
Does anyone use this stuff?
Well, the speediest means of communication known to man.
Well, I had this vision. Whenever I'm in my office and I'm working away on something, I hear that little click, the fax machine's going, I think, ooh, a fax. He sits down and it goes, dear Mr. May, and I think, fantastic, your car, oh, my car, what's that? Has been, what, entered for a Reader's Digest drawer, stolen.
There is another rover. Want to see it?
Oh, yes.
No.
This is a beauty.
This is called the Streetwise, OK? Now, this is basically, they're saying it's an urban on-roader. Now, if we analyse that, an urban on-roader is a car designed to go on the road in town. So it's a car, isn't it?
Essentially, yes.
It's effectively, it's a 25, isn't it, onto which they've nailed some polyurethane bumpers. There you are, look, polyurethane front end, and they've jacked it up a bit. They are saying that it has got a split folding rear seat.
Like a car.
Yeah, like a car.
very much.
It's available with a selection of petrol and diesel power units.
Well, that is clever. Yeah, yeah.
Various transmissions, 3 trim levels.
Car-like.
Yeah, very car-like. It's fun to drive, handy in traffic, easy to park, and able to shrug off hard use by active individuals and young families.
They've put some thought into this, haven't they?
Has elements of the SUV appeal. No, it doesn't. It's not four-wheel drive, with good ground clearance and ruggedness, but without the costs and complexity of 4x4 transmission.
It's a car.
It's a car. Yeah. At the same time, it offers good all-round performance and capability out of town, from motorways to farm tracks.
So you can drive out of town as well.
It's not just an urban on-roader, it's a motorway on-roader as well.
Amazing.
And it can do farm tracks, but nothing too difficult, OK? I've got a safety thing that I want to do.
Oh, good.
Yeah, no, look here. It's this green thing.
And it is?
It's a hearing aid. Funky hearing aid. I'm deaf,
nice.
but I'm funky. Look at that.
It's a special device for making you look like a total Burke.
Yeah.
It works
The thing
well.
is you put it on your head while you're driving along, and then, if you nod off, you fall asleep, ready?
Jeremy, that's safe. Well done. I think that's safe.
Just before we get carried away, though, I've spotted a couple of drawbacks with this. You're driving along, you want to change radio channels. You want to get something out of the glove box.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
No. Do you know what? I think you've messed it up. Oh, turn it off.
Look, here's a proper piece of British ingenuity. A bloke called Jeff, he's made a steam-powered bicycle. After 30 years' work, he started work on it in 1972. Roughly 250 years after the steam engine was invented.
Really on the cutting edge, is he?
Well, what this bloke has done, he's taken one old technology, one outdated technology, he's combined them to create something genuinely useless. It's brilliant. This is the best bit. It runs on unleaded petrol, a steam engine. So why not just put the unleaded petrol in a moped? Anyway, he says, it gives me such a thrill after all these years' work, I should think so. And I just ride her round steam fairs.
Her?
Her, yes. Well, it's a steam engine.
Dude,
they're all
what
girls.
about people who refer to their cars as she?
I find that scary.
What is it about giving cars names? Is this something that only women do? Because I said this down the pub the other day and nearly got my head kicked in. Has any bloke here ever called their car something like Minnie the Micra? Or anything like that?
Has any man, hands up if you've ever named your car? Have any women here named their cars?
Yes.
Look at that.
What's the name of your car? Miles.
Miles, that's a good one.
What's the name of your car, then?
Mr. T.
Mr. T. Is it big and black with jewellery all over it? It's a Toyota. So you call a Toyota MR2 not Graham Norton, which is its real name? Well, there we are.